Okay, so today we will understand how to make our website or web pages, what we are talking about templates and all, right? How to create them with help of CSS properly and will with help of Bootstrap. How to make it is proper design. How to make that as a proper layout. Okay, and how we can include standard practices. Okay, let's say in our previous example, we did not everywhere I copied that proper CSS to get it, right? That is not a good approach. We have to create CSS file separately. That thing we have to apply to the all other HTML files. Okay, and also if you open any website, there will be some navbars. There will be some footer. That navbar and footer going to be same for all the pages. Correct? Only inside that, between that navbar called as like a header and footer, call it as, okay? Between that header and footer, there will be placeholder for loading the contents. Specific pages, specific content will come. Okay. So those things we have to do programmatically. Okay. So to do that, we have to work with our Django template inheritance, or maybe Django template extends concept, all those things we have to look into that. Like how I can get all like navigation bar to all the pages, how I can get my footer part to all the pages. Okay. So those things we'll discuss, right? One by one. So we'll understand how to create those things, how to include that nav bar, that footer, and how to extend that particular things to other pages. Okay, this is our main agenda today. Okay, we'll talk about that now. Now, for doing that, actually, I have created a project, new project. Okay, I will explain this project directory to you guys. Okay, what I have done, you'll understand here. So I have created project name called static project. Okay, project name called static project. I'll tell you what is the static project. Actually, whatever the CSS you want to load or whatever the images you want to load into our Django, Django will search in the directory called static. We must create the directory called static. Okay, you have to make that static directory as root directory. Whenever I am applying or trying to load any images, it will first look into that directory. That's why we have to understand this static part also. Okay. So now we'll come back to that later. Don't worry. Now my project name is static project, where I am getting all my basic informations like settings.py is there. Okay. Here everything I am going to make a settings. Correct. And URL is that py is there. Here I am going to include all my applications URLs. So I created here one app called static app. Static app. That URL I'm including here. That's it. Okay. Include static app that URLs. This much is clear for everyone, I feel. Right. Now, going forward, what we are doing here means, okay. Let me, yeah. Today we'll talk about more on templates first. Later I'll come back to the static if time is there. Okay. Today we'll concentrate on templates only more. Now in the template, we have to create the template folder. As we know, that settings we have to keep in the settings.py, like template section, right? That I have done. Then if I open here template folder, I have kept so many web pages. I can say HTML pages. Now, which is the entry point here? We have to understand here. Okay. If you before that, just see the names here. like add HTML is there, base HTML is there, display HTML is there, footer HTML is there, home HTML is there, navbar HTML is there, and update HTML is there. All the HTML pages, they have separate its own specifications, functionalities, right? Now we have to just click on now home HTML page. But here, if you see, previously I kept all the HTML code in the previous example and project. Now, in the home HTML page, what I did, all the request, whatever the parameter data I want to get from the student data, I defined there only. But here I'm not doing that actually as of now. Okay, but I'm doing something else. But before that, I have one more HTML file called base.html file. What is there in that base.html file? You observe. Okay. Yeah. We'll understand first navbar, that is like header. Okay. Header file. In that header file, if you observe, you people know about navbar, how to create navbar. Like you'll be using nav keyword and unordered list, order list things, and you'll be establishing hyperlink to open that navbar things, right? Same thing. But here, I am not done this code manually. I have just copied from the Bootstrap actually. Okay, I just copied from the Bootstrap. So if you go to Bootstrap website, now you can copy whatever the Bootstrap code already defined over there. Okay, I will show you. Get Bootstrap. Okay, open that. And if you go to docs, documentation part, if you search whatever you want here, like navbar, right? Navbar. You can see that navbar things will come here. Yeah. However, whichever type of thing you want, you can copy and paste in your HTML page and you can modify accordingly. If you observe here, this code is going to give me like this presentation, like this navbar. Okay. Here you can go and check wherever you want. You can change. See, home, I'm getting home, and here drop down, getting drop down action, getting action like that. You can change that. Same thing I have done in my code here. I have copied that, and I am keeping here home. Home navbar will come. Okay. For home, I'm keeping here hash. I'll make change here like slash root. Okay, if you keep that backslash, it will be always point to home. That is the meaning. Okay, and I'm keeping here next navbar is add. Okay, next navbar is display. Next navbar is update. That functionality will define that later. Don't worry. But here, if you observe for the add, okay, I have to link the URL, right? When I click home, it will, if I give slash now, it will remain in the home only. It will go to home only, redirect to home only. Now, when I click this add, it should go to add page. So that you have to define here nav link href is equal to this one. We know already how to define the URL. In the yesterday concept also we discussed, like how curly braces percentage URL add URL. That URL must be defined in the URL page also, url.py also. That I kept already there. Okay, don't worry. Same way here, display for display also url.display. Okay, for update also URL update. These things will come to our. I'll show you. When what's happening? I have to dir. I have to go to my project and search for manage.py. Now it will work. Correct. Okay. You'll get a idea now how this project will looks for me. Observe here. All the navbar is coming for me. Okay. Home. It's reflecting to home only. And add. It is rendering to the add URL. Observe here. And it is giving me add web HTML page. Welcome to add page is coming. Okay, same way, display, it is taking to the display URL and it is going to welcome to display web page actually. I mean to say that display.html page. Okay. Then again update, it is going to update URL and it is rendering me update.html page. Okay. But if you observe for all the web pages like add page, display page and update page, navbar and footer remaining same, right? But I am not defining that navbar and footer in all the pages actually. I'm not defining that. If you go here, check now, add HTML, I'm not keeping the navbar and footer here. Okay. And if you go to display.html, here also I'm not keeping the navbar and footer, but dynamically I'm loading that. Linking those things. That is the standard practice you have to do. How to do that? We'll check it now. Okay. Now I was here, right? Navbar. So now navbar is clear. Everything is done here. Okay. Now talk about footer now. Where is footer? Here. Navbar is like my top layout. Now in all the pages, my bottom layout should be there. Correct. That is what footer technically call it as in the HTML, right? Now this footer also I just copied from the Bootstrap. Going here, check the footer. Okay. Even I don't know completely Bootstrap, but I just copy and change accordingly. That's it, right? Here, whatever, however you want that you can copy. This footer style you want, you copy this and keep and change the text according to you. It will change. Again, if you want this style, you copy that. Okay. Or else you want this style, you copy that. Okay. This center style you want, you copy that code. Like that, you can do that. Okay. If you observe here, we are copied, I think this first one. That lorem code is there, na? Anything is fine. You can copy anyone and do that. Okay. Fine now. Now in footer also nothing I am keeping. Just I just changed here something called what is that? At last. This you can change maybe. There 2020 is there 2024 I can make it. Current copyright. And here if you want to give your website name, you can give your website name. Maybe www. Student management.com, something like this. Okay. Whatever website name will be there, you can keep that. That will come here. Here you can give the website URL. Okay. Right. Now, after that, if you open all the files here now, let's say add.html, not add.html. First, we'll talk about base.html now. Okay, base.html. That is the base file for me. Using that file, I am dynamically linking all other pages now. Okay. So now if you observe here, I kept here something called one DTL code. I mean DTL code here, that is curly braces percentage load static, then percentage curly braces. Now, what is this going to do means, whatever the CSS file, whatever the style you want to apply, whatever the image you want to load, that it should load from the static folder. That is the meaning. Okay. Because Django by default internally, it will be having some settings. If you want to load any static things, it will go to the static folder and it will check. But static folder I need to create explicitly. That's why I created here in the settings.py. You have to do the settings actually. Let me bring down here. Okay. If you observe settings, yeah. See here, in the Django, in all the sections, they have given their documentation actually link. You can, whenever you get doubt, you can go and follow that link. So I will open this link now. for your reference. Okay, it is open here. Observe it. How to manage static files, like example, images, JavaScript, CSS, all these things must be present in the static folder. Okay, so that we have to maintain the settings in the settings.py. Like static URL is what? That is static. That's why I'm loading static. And while creating static URL also, you have to use static. Okay, I'll show you that. After that, see, you have to use load static thing. And one example they are showing here. If you want to load the image, then like this you have to follow. Curly braces percentage. Then where you have to check in the static folder. Then what is my image, where that is present, that path you have to give. In the images folder present means here you will give images slash logo.jpg kind of thing. Okay. Then alt, alt is equal to my logo kind of thing. Okay. Like this syntax you have to follow. Okay. So I'm not following any extra thing. Whatever the documentation is there, you have to follow. That's it. Right. Now, apart from that, here static URL you have to define. That thing I have defined here. See, static URL is equal to static. Then you have to define static root. Okay. Static root you have to define, that is static only. From where it has to look into root directory. Then you have to define directories, static files directories. I am defining static file directories like base dir is equal to this directory name. Whatever you keep, that directory will be created. Okay. So I kept here static media. So static media is created here. Okay. If you keep here another name, that name will be created. Like if you keep here only static here, also here it will create static only, like that it will be. Okay. This is like base directory, and this is like directory subdirectory directory name here. Okay. Static media it will be going to create. From there my Django will search now. It will go to root static and it will try to search inside this static media folder. Whatever the CSS file will be there, whatever the image file will be there, whatever the JavaScript file will be there, it will look inside this folder only. That is the meaning and the configuration we are doing. Okay. Fine up to this. This setting you have to do compulsory. Static media folder you have to create. If you not create, like you by command also you can create actually. We can do one command like Python manage. After doing this setting, I'm talking about after doing this setting, you can do this Python manage.py. Oh, sorry. .py collect static. Okay. Maybe this also present in this. In the documentation, yeah, observe Python manage.py collect static. This command, if you run after doing that settings, it will create the whatever the folder you are mentioning here, that will be created, and whatever the Django inbuilt static files will be there, that is going to load it there actually. Okay, let us do this now. Python manage.py collect static. Enter. Observe now. It is taking some time to run the code. And it's saying that 127 static files copied to C:static. Okay. That means but it is not taken this our project root directory. It is taken, it is created static folder inside the C: directly. If you open here my C drive, okay, let me open C drive. There is a it has created now newly. See, it has created newly static folder, right? Just now 8:26 time, right? Open that. it has mentioned, it is create inside that I am having admin. Inside that admin folder, I am having CSS folder and image folder and JS JavaScript folder. What it is there when I'm collecting Python manage.py collect static, na, it is giving me all the admin related CSS styling, images related and JavaScript. When I create the admin portal and open it, that will reflect there. Understanding? Okay. Still, I didn't show how to create admin portal and log into. I'll show you that later. We don't want to create. It will create itself. When I collect it, if you not create, it will not, that styling will not apply for the admin portal. Okay. By default, they have mentioned, they have created already that things. We have to load it. We have to, when I try to log into admin portal, it will try to log in, it will try to render the image sometime maybe, and it will try to render the colors of something, layout something. If it is not present in this local server, it will throw error. That's why. Okay. Now, thing is, I don't want to keep in this local C drive actually. This one, right? I want to keep in my project only. Project folder, right? Let me make some changes here. According to this, okay? Come back here, above. Yeah. Static files dir, base dir, static. I'll copy this now. Okay. I will mention here. Okay. Now let's try. After this, one more time we'll try to collect. Okay. Enter. Now it's saying again, it's pointing to C colon only. I don't want there. No. Cancel. The static configuration is like something always gives some wrong thing only. Wait a minute. Yeah. Here they're mentioning like this. Let me follow that only. I'll remove this. Okay. I'll remove this also. Let's try once again. Now I am getting expected error. See now, what it's saying, static files DIRs setting should not contain the static root setting. Means both should not be present. Either one should be present, either static file dir, either static root. Now what I'll do, I will comment this static root. Okay, static root. Then try to copy this manage.py collect static. Now what it's showing? Okay, let me check that. Yeah. In the static setting does not exist. Okay. You have requested to collect the static files at the destination location as specified in your setting, but that static folder does not exist. It's saying. Understood? The static folder does not exist. What we have to do? We have to create that folder. Like go here in the main thing, right click, and the new directory. Give the name as static. Okay. Now I think it should present inside this. Refactor it. Yeah, now done. So this is my project. Here you can see now static folder, right? Where it went actually? Inside idea. Oh my god. It should be open to this. Okay. Or else we'll delete this. Okay. We'll create newly. Okay. Then minimize this. Now I want static folder correspond to this one. Okay. Create new directory static. Cool. So now I have static folder. Now run the command again. Python manager.py collect static. And you have requested to collect static files at the destination. This will overwrite existing files. Destination, let's say has now. Okay. Now I am getting static files app without having the static root settings to file system. Okay. Static URL and static root, static files there. If I remove either one, we have to keep actually static root or static files there. With the static root, it has taken now. Observe 126 static files copy to my project, static project, then static folder. You can see. Now let's open that static folder. Yeah, and expand that. And you can see all the admin related things coming here. Right? Now you can define our own CSS, own images inside this folder now. It will be good to ready and work, load, right? So what I'll do now, I'll just define one more folder directory called CSS. Okay. I'll keep all the CSS things inside the CSS. And one more folder called images. Images. I'll keep all the images for my application inside this folder. Okay, like that. Now what I'll do, I'll just remove, take this thing, copy, and keep inside this CSS folder now. Already I mentioned some CSS thing here. Okay, in the display.css, I have something, table CSS and anchor CSS will be there. Okay, now I don't want this static media, because I don't want to work with this now. I am going to work with directly static folder only. I will remove this, delete. Okay, this setup is done for me now, right? Now we'll come back, close this, and settings also close, not required. We'll go to base.html now. Base.html now. In this base.html, first thing is like load static. You have to keep in all the HTML file. You have to keep this, all the template file, load static. After that, I'm using Bootstrap, right? That Bootstrap link you have to mention, CDN link. You can see here, if you want to use any Bootstrap now, that link will be there. If you go to docs, you can come here, quick start, and come down CDN links, right? CSS, if you want to use this CDN link, you have to mention in the link. That's what I'm doing here. Link, rel, style sheet, href, that I copied and pasted over here. Okay. If you do this only, that Bootstrap code will reflect in our project. Okay. After that, if you think I want to keep my extra CSS also, then you can write this block like curly braces percentage. I am defining extra CSS block. Inside this extra CSS block, in whatever the templates, whatever the page you go, you can define your own style. Okay. So block, I am giving these things are all like inbuilt code actually. We know, right, that for loop inbuilt syntax is there. Condition inbuilt syntax is the same thing like block, extra CSS, then end block. Okay. So here I don't want, see, this is the base structure skeleton I am creating. That's it. Here I'm not going to write any style, any code. Whatever the required thing I want, I will include. Whatever the required thing I want, I will just make a layout thing. That's it. Okay. Now coming to body section. So in this body section, what I'm doing, observe. When I open my website, top level, I want navbar. Bottom level, I want footer. Between the navbar and footer, I want content. Correct? I want content. Same thing I'm defining here. What is that? See, using DTL template language, I'm doing like curly braces percentage. Using include keyword, I'm going to include navbar.html template file entirely to this base HTML file. Okay. Include navbar.html. Okay. After that, I'm creating one block called content block. After navbar, I should display the content, right? For that content block, I'm creating block content end block. Okay. Let me have a space over there for you to understand. After content, what I required? Footer. So I'm including footer.html here. Just common sense. First top level, navbar I'm including. Then bottom I am including footer. Then in between, I want one a placeholder, right? Between navbar and footer, I want some placeholder to render my content. That is the placeholder I am keeping here. This one. Inside this, I will send all my data of the particular web pages, particular templates. That's it. So in the base HTML file, only this much we are doing. That's it. This file I don't want to touch anymore. Okay. But this base.html file, I want to include in all my HTML file. That is the thing we are going to do. Because all the thing I defined here, this defined thing should reflect in all other pages, right? Like add page, display page, update page. There I want to extend. This is known as template extend. That means inheritance. Extending. Okay. On this template, entire thing I'm extending to other template. Okay. So how to do that? How to do that means simple. Let's say, first we'll talk about home.html. When I open the website, I will get home page, right? Yeah. First home page, I have to maintain properly. In home page, I am getting this one, navbar and footer, and welcome to homepage. In the homepage also, I have to include, extend that base.html. So go to homepage. Homepage. So now first line itself, I am writing extend code using extends keyword. Okay. Extends, which template you want to extend, you have to mention. Quotation base.html. Okay, base.html. And if you do that much, only base.html, what is there, that much only will come. But along with that, I want home page content also should be included, right? That extra thing. So that in the base.html, you have created one placeholder, correct? This placeholder you have to use here now. Block content, end block. Inside that end block content, you are allowed to give whatever the data you want to display. Like here, I'm just mentioning welcome to home page. That will come there. Okay. Welcome to home page. That is coming here. Correct. If I keep anything other thing also, that also will come. Here we will display all our starting data, something like this. It will come here, right? Okay. So that reflect that particular page content we are putting inside the content block content placeholder. Okay, understood. Similarly, if you go to, where is that? Base, yeah, add, right? Add.html. Here I'm not implemented any functionality, just how it is rendering, we are checking, that's it. Here also extends base.html, block content, welcome to add page. Welcome to add page. Then end block. Because of this, when I click on add page, it will render to add and it will load the add page along with the base.html layout, navbar and footer. Okay. And if I go to display page now, there also I'm doing same thing. Curly braces extends base.html. Here, I kept something called load static also. Why? Because I am applying extra CSS also. Means I want to apply for display some style also for that page. Okay. Where my styles are there? In the static folder. That you have to mention here. Load static. That you have to mention. Then it will understand. I want to go to the static folder. Then I want to look for the something. Right? And I am linking here now. Extra CSS I defined in the base, right? Observe. Block extra CSS and block. That is the placeholder. This you have to use now in the display. I'm using now block extra CSS, then in block. Inside that, you know that how to link the CSS things, right? Normal link tag you will be using. So link rel style sheet href, where that style sheet is present with me in the static folder, in the CSS folder, display.css. Previously, I kept directly actually. I didn't create a CSS folder. That's why I'm using here href is equal to curly braces percentage static URL display.css directly. Now I change the my folder directory structure. According to that, what I should change here now? I have to mention the folder CSS also in this, correct? CSS slash. Okay, CSS. It will understand now. I have to go to the static folder. Inside that, I have to go to the CSS folder. Inside that, I have to search for the display.css file. Okay. Now, in the display.css file, whatever the style you kept, it will reflect in that display web page. Okay. Right. Now here, welcome to display is there. Welcome to display page I'll make. Welcome to display page. And here we are just keeping some table also, like age and name. Name and age of some person, and submit button is there. Okay. Now for this table also, I kept some display align center, background color red, font family Vardhana, something margin 1 rem. Okay. Then anchor tag, I'm keeping color white. Okay. Because of this, that style should reflect here in the display. Let's check. It is coming. See, red background. Okay. Then name and age is coming in the this one. And if I type here, okay, it is reflected over. Maybe if I change here some other color, green, it should reflect over there. Home, add, why it's not coming? We'll go to new bar. Okay. Here it's not a problem. Okay, actually it should reflect here, but why it's not getting it, I don't know. Let's fix it. Okay, but this is how it will work actually. Okay. Now what else? One more thing I have to show you finally. Here in the navbar, right? Whatever the URL we are keeping, for that URLs, we should map with the URL map urls.py also. That is here now. In that app, url.py, you can observe. Okay. Now, yeah, add slash, it is views that add function, display slash, views that display function, update slash, views that update function. That functions going to be present inside our views. Where is the views? Yeah. Here, in that particular views, we are just rendering those HTML pages. But if you want to really maintain or keep that add functionality, you have to define your functionality, establishing the connection to the table, all right, and getting the data, then storing it by saving the saving command. That will be that you can extend further. Okay, and also display also fetching all the records from the student table, and you can display here. That is the one thing. And update also, you know, update how to keep. Update function also you can implement. This is just a skeleton we have designed, how it is working, rendering. Okay. You should practice this. I will share this entire project to you guys. Okay. All the things you practice, change accordingly your requirements, styles, everything. You will come to know practically when you do this, right? Okay. Templates only HTML only, not front end means only HTML design will keep. But CSS styling and image and all those things, we have to maintain in the static folder compulsory. That Django maintains segregation. Okay, static folder compulsory. Only HTML, nothing other than that. Okay. Good. Okay. Now I would like to show you one more extra thing, like another 2-3 minutes, just that's it. Okay. That is important. We have to discuss what is that means. Now for this, if you go, where is that start our project now? If you go here, main project I'm talking about, static project, main project, expand that, go to URLs. There is a by default one URL they kept for me, correct? admin/admin.site.urls. Okay. Now if I try to navigate to that URL, let's say /admin, correct? Okay, I'm getting this page, admin Django administration page, correct? Okay, this page I didn't define, I didn't create it. It is already, when you create project, it will come default. And this styling, this everything will come from default, because when I did here, what is that? Collect static, all the style of the admin, see, in the static folder came here, static CSS came, observe. When I expand this, see, autocomplete CSS, base.css, dark mode, dashboard.css. This CSS code is loading here. Okay, dashboard CSS kind of thing. Everything is defined inbuilt, so it's coming. Now, username, password is there. Okay, username, password. What username, password? I don't know. To log into this now, I have to create this username and password, right? This administration Java administration user will be like super user. He is a like admin user. Okay. So now I have to create this user. How to create this user? We'll check it now. Okay. To create that user, you have to write a command called python manage.py create super user. Python manage.py create super user. That is a single command, create super user. Okay, create super user. Enter now. Yeah, I'm getting one error here. That is auth user table is not there. See, when you want to create super user, that super user going to create it inside the not our table actually. It is going to create it inside the Django tables. Like auth user, auth cookies, auth session, something you discuss shown that day, right? Same thing, but here I don't have that table. Means what I'm missing? Anybody? Why I'm getting this error? Auth user is not coming because I did not migrate it, guys. Once you migrate, all these inbuilt tables will be created in my table database. But if you go to settings, I just settings, what database I am keeping here, because this I created new project now. It is like by default SQLite 3. Okay, it will work for this also, no worry. I'll now create migration, python manage.py make, first make migration, right? Make migrations. So no changes detected. Now you go for migrate, python manage.py migrate. Okay, migrate. See, it is applying all the migration and it is saying that created all the users, like all the tables, like observe admin, auth, then auth content, auth group. So many tables are created now. Now we are good to create the super user, right? Execute python manage.py create super user. Now it is asking me what username you want to give. I'll keep simple like admin only. Okay, you can give anything. Then it is asking email address. I'll give admin@gmail.com. And it is asking password. I'll give simple password just for demo. admin@123. Again, admin@123. Now it's saying that the password is too similar to the user. because it ensures some security and some validation, everything, right? But again, it's asking me bypass password validation. If you want, you can bypass. I just don't bother because this is a demo perfect project. If you're doing for the production project, now you should keep proper password actually. Now I'll keep bypass now. Yes, bypass. Now super user created successfully. Now with that super user, you can log into admin page, admin dashboard now. Okay, go there, admin dashboard, and what is the username I kept? Admin. What is the password I kept? All small letter, admin at 123. Login now. Okay, observe, it's got logged in to the admin site. By default, in the admin site, I have some block called authentication and authorization. There they are showing me groups and users. Now, in the users, that is the users in the means that user model, it will be stored in the auth user table. Now, whatever the user I create in my application, it will be common store in this actually. Now, this admin user what I created, that also should be present here. Backend, you can check all the things actually using admin table, admin dashboard. Now, if I open this, observe, you can see users, username admin, email address is admin at gmail.com. You can edit here first name, last name, everything you can see. And staff status, if you open this also, you can see further information. Okay, see, this user is active. Yes. Is this user is staff user? Yes. This user is super user. Yes. You can do all these settings actually. Okay, that is it. Fine. So you must be able to create today this create super user also, and you must practice this static settings and extending the templates. Make sense? Okay, follow this. We'll see tomorrow further things how to do with something real use cases, how to implement a real login system, real registration system. Those kind of things we'll look into that. Okay, cool. We'll see you tomorrow.